So a couple of weeks ago, the end of July, I came back from a trip to Ethiopia. So that meant 30 hours in the air on a bunch of planes, and of course one of them was late, so I missed my connection, and I thought I was going to get home at a leisurely 6, be able to have a glass of wine, settle in, and be ready for work the next morning. But instead, I dragged in at 10. And you know, when you get off the plane, you can feel the heat. The dog days are on us. You can feel the heat in the jetway. It's like, oh, God. And so then to the car, and then home, and up the steps thinking, can't wait for that minty fresh feel of the air conditioner. And I walk in the door, and it's a fucking 85 degrees. And I have this 20-year-old and her boyfriend who are living with me, and I'm like, guys, the air conditioning's not working. And they're like, huh? And I run outside with a flashlight, and, you know, there's nothing. And I call up my boyfriend, who's an electrician. And no, I did not tell him I was hot and wet all over. I was like, my air conditioning's not working. I need your help. And, you know, he gave me that, okay, try, find your breaker switch and turn it off a few times. And this is like, hope springs eternal. Try it a couple of more times. No. This is like the Millennium Falcon when it gets like pulled into the tractor beam of no air conditioning. So I decide I'm going to sleep on the sofa because the sofa's leather, maybe that'll be cooler, and it's downstairs, and cold air is heavier, and it goes down, right? That's going to help. That thermometer that said 84 degrees was downstairs. Anyway, my cat, who has abandonment issues, is like right on top of me. And you know what sleeping on a sofa is like? Like you kind of have to stretch out and wake up to turn over, and my body is all stuck to each other with that icky stickiness, and I gotta unstick it and roll over. Anyway, I did not get to work the next day. I got on to the air conditioning people, I brought them over, and I got a new compressor, and I went to work the next day, and I went out late after work for dinner, and I get home around midnight, and it's like Groundhog Day. It's 76 degrees, and I'm knocking on the kid's bedroom door, and I'm like, the air conditioner's not working. And they're like, what? And so, you know, I go outside and the compressor's running, but there's ice on the coolant lines, which you would think is a good thing, means I'm really got some good coolant running through, but actually it's a bad thing. So anyway, I get the instructions from the net, and I turn this off, and I decide I got to go up in the attic because there's this thing called an evaporator, and I wonder if that's not working. And I get into the attic, and I find out, well, all the moisture in the air is condensing onto this evaporator and rolling out, and that the drain on the drip pan is not working, and that I'm about 3 millimeters away from a flood that was going to ruin my ceiling. So I'm screaming, kids, wake up! Help your 60-year-old mother! Anyway, I go back downstairs, and there's one of these AC services that says they're 24/7. So I call them, and it's like, I got a drip pan, you know, full of water, and I got no AC, and it's hot. And so I'm a doctor, so I know what happens when you get a call on, you know, when you're at home, when you're on call, and you really don't want to go in, and you repeat what they say in a mumbly voice. I drip pan is full of water. I mean, I'll never forget mine. So the patient has no liver. Anyway. So the end result is the guy's going to come over the next day. So now I'm done with the leather couch. It didn't work. I just go to my bed. I still got my little kitty cat stuck to me like glue. And, you know, I'm thinking, maybe I should knock on the kid's door and ask them what they've been smoking, because if it helps you not feel hot, I want some too. And, but now is actually the first time I have a chance. I'm really kind of wide awake because I averted this flood and all this stuff. And I just start thinking back to my trip. And I was over with a group of oncologists and surgeons, and I myself am a pathologist, to look at cancer care in Ethiopia. And we were in Addis Ababa, which has the only government hospital available to treat cancer patients for the whole country. And they use cobalt machines for radiation. They can't afford chemotherapy. And, I mean, not even the VA in the United States uses cobalt machines anymore. And while we were there, they said you can't go into the room with the treatment center because the patient's being treated. But then the power went out. So they said, oh, well, the power's out. You can come in and see it now. And as you walk down the hallway, there are all these desperate people there. and they have high-stage cancers, and you can smell the death because as cancers grow, they cut off their oxygen supply, and they themselves begin to die off, and you can smell that. And you see the look in their faces of, it's like a hurt child who has had their body turn against them, and they don't know what to do about it. And one of the patients who spoke English even stepped out to talk to us to say, our doctors are good, they're trying, but you know, what can we do? And that was better than the smoking stuff. I realized that, you know, being hot is a luxury. I mean, being cool is a luxury. Being hot's not a luxury. Being cool is a luxury. And actually, I'm in good health, and my kids are in good health, and I have access to health care. And you really need to put these things in perspective. And I'm really looking forward to going back to Africa and continuing this work. And, but my AC does work now.